basically on even points. Whoever takes points tonight could end up even potentially ahead of the League of Shadows.
No, it's not quite even points. But the thing
Ooh.
is that the League of Shadows have got a spot in playoffs, whether it's third or fourth, depends on our winner tonight. But the big key here is Venomcrest need 5 or 6 points to get that last slot. Otherwise, it's going to be CSG getting that slot. So they are just looking for 2 of these points here, CSG, whereas Yak needs 5 or more. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. We need a Venomcrest victory tonight to see Yak in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they've actually been playing really well, have the Venomcrest Pythons. I've been really impressed by them pretty much all season long. They've been picking up a lot of wins versus teams that, if you're a mid-prem team, you would expect them to take wins off of, right? I mean, obviously, with the Frenchies kind of underperforming, coming back a bit earlier this week, it's been nice to see, you know, these sort of newer players come up into the rankings, and they're actually finishing pretty strong. Obviously, they probably would like to finish within playoffs. I think pretty much every player on the server right now would want to go into playoffs. They've all had a pretty good season. I think CSG as well. The first season, looking impressive, looking strong, looking to improve. I know they're keen to come to Copenhagen, as should everyone in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, but clearly not keen enough to come to this LAN. SMH, Dodgers all over this server.
Yep. I think the only people on this cast who were at LAN, including the players that you'll see on the server in a moment, is actually the 3 of us producing this right now.
Yeah.
As you can kind of hear it, I think, a little bit in my throat, actually, now that I'm talking a little bit more. You can kind of hear a little bit of a rasp. It should be okay. That's the LAN death. I think I'm lucky. I think I've avoided most of the LAN death coming out of Hamburg. I've seen some tweets from Gazzy. He's feeling old and wrecked.
Yeah, a lot of people feeling wrecked, so a negative shout out to you if you're one of the patient zeros that brought something to the event. But we are going to be going live soon, Juan. We haven't mentioned our maps yet tonight, of course. We are running that pick ban system for the regular season now, so it is going to be Sunshine up first, Gullywash up second. Interesting little side note is that they're both maps that are 5 CP, so they can go to Golden Cap, so we can see those janky point splits that might just narrowly decide the playoffs tonight. Juan, who do you back to get this 4th playoff slot?
I think this is probably as even as it gets. If there's a game this season, I was going to set this up preseason where I think, honestly, the closest game that we'd see probably for that 3rd place spot. I think if we are going to see a very close sort of double Golden Cap style map, it's probably going to be tonight. I think both of these teams are really evenly matched. The soldiers on both sides are good, not amazing. The scouts on one side are insane. I think Am's Yeehor scout combo should come Copenhagen be probably one of the best in all of Prem. And I think maybe they should be looking to carry their teams forward, at least on Sunshine, coming to this map. But once again, Bumfries, we are live on map 1, Sunshine. It's week 7, Venomcrest Pythons versus the Cuban study group. We're going to call them CSG of ETF2L season 43. We are on mid.
Yep, Tiran already in the cafe, gonna get rushed down here by a scout and a soldier. That's gonna be the first death of the mid very early. Kanin with a very high bomb onto EDK, who is gonna be able to surf that one away. And on the back lines, Charlie all the way in onto Poi, but Poi is gonna live, get that pack, and try to get out towards lobby. There's a hard chase on Fancy all the way in the sky, laying Sticky's down and does get the kill. This might be a wipe here for Venomcrest. It's just Junu left alive. And of course, EDK backing up to keep themselves alive as well. It's a full wipe, full add into last.
EDK with a nice little serve up to KN there, kind of broke his ankles. KN thought he was going to go another way. EDK just kind of didn't bounce as high. Stepping up, murking for CSG tonight as Condog is not here so far. He's sitting with 100% advantage here, but it's Yeehor just trying to feed into last, honestly. Not with the rest of his team. They still have this giant advantage now. Looking to push in onto right side. The Uber should come out of EDK soon, as they're actually taking so much space. Finally, Uber popped onto the sentry gun. It's immediately taken down. The heavy in spawn. Gonna rotate over at CSG, looking for any kills he can find. It's actually a kill onto Poi here, but will it be enough? Another kill onto KN now. That should do so much damage. You see the heavy force the CSG back. They have to take this long spam fight, which they can do. They have a medic pick advantage, so bomb coming in. gets a kill onto Fancy, but now the Heavy getting taken down. The Demo Man bullied off the point as well. It's just 2 stickies, and they get taken down. It's a round for CSG very fast.
Yeah, 3 people going into spawn, 1 already dead. That just left pretty much Poi all alone there on the left and was easy pickings to the Uber. Then, of course, running that heal advantage throughout the whole last fight. Of course, they're going to eventually convert those kills. Slow and steady, but they do get it in the end. 2 minutes on the first round, actually, as we get into this next mid.
Into the next mid we go, as Yak is actually dropping way down to half HP there, has a little bit of the spam rocket as well, make sure it doesn't get taken down. Now, CSG is setting up towards the enemy side here, as the bomb just comes in onto Poi and KN, and they're both taken down by Fancy. Now, Tiram has a trade onto EDK, and actually Charlie getting taken down as well. The scouts of Juno and Nuthouse combined with Yak to do a lot of damage here, but it's a cleanup kill onto Yak. Haunts trying to get everything, make everything happen on his own, just gets cleaned up. And Venomcrest Pythons, very long name, they take control of the middle here, kill onto the medic, even Ubers.
Yeah, a nice kind of comeback mid-fight there. It seemed like they were on the losing end of it, but everyone managed to scatter and recommit in the end there and actually get all the frags they required. It is still even Ubers, as you say, people just rolling out to the fight on both teams. So we might just see everyone chill out and take a little stalemate for a bit, build these Ubers up.
Just building up the Uber charge, no big deal. We're on Sunshine, we have plenty of time to play for, about 4.5 minutes left on the round timer, so it shouldn't be too much of a factor yet. We did see a little bit of the round timer running down at Hamburg, but not as much as we saw at I-69, which I think is a positive sign for everyone involved. We don't get flamed as much by the Americans, we see faster games, everything's good. As spam now out of Venomcrest Python is going to open the door for both the soldiers to come in,
oh
but
my
KN
God,
shot down by Sticky there out of Fancy.
KN just deleted out of the air. Nikki running it through the flank now. In fact, they're taking their heal beam here too. They really want to pressure this door hard, get as much space as they can. Fancy just denying a lot of space for the stickies for a sack to come in from Choke. Haunts actually gets the pick onto Yak. With the demo down, it's going to be really hard to hold these doors. Tiram's trying to stuff the Choke instead, but the rockets aren't good enough as Hai and Junu get taken down, and the Uber gets forced out in the end as well. It's now full advantage for CSG. Tiram's just trying to bomb in, see if he can make anything out of this. He does trade for a demo man, but it's not the medic force they were looking for. And Venomcrest Pythons still have a big ad here.
CSG is sitting really nice at this point now. They have a big advantage here. Fancy going to come up in 5 seconds, but it looked like CSG, they just want to push this in through Cafe before the demo man can even get to the fight. Forcing back, they have to deal with some sticky bombs out of Yak here. And Charlie just bombing forwards on a second. And you can see, I mean, Venomcrest Pythons, they want nothing to do with this Uber charge on second. And honestly, works out for CSG. Now, they can walk into lower. They still have an advantage, 80 for Poi.
They are going to kill Yak instantly with this Uber charge. Poi nearly coming up on the Uber in seconds. It's only just been capped. Tiram's going to feed his life away to the Uber, though. Could have stayed lower a bit longer there and not just giving the kill away. And now the counter-sack is in onto Poi. Has to use it off in the end to block the point. They are going to find Fancy behind the point here. They get 2 more kills as well. But they haven't cleared top here. Just jumps straight to the point. Once nearly gets that one, but is cleaned up by KN in the end. If they spot that Amps and EDK are both ahead here, they are out at Cafe. They're going to try and cap second up now, but it's an advantage once again for CSG.
Amps is just not even backing off. He's just sitting in Cafe, building up the Uber charge, 75% for EDK already. So they're going to be looking to just go straight back in on second here. As a VNC right now, they want to get forwards, they want to get some kills going, just try and stop this push. Out of CSG, a lot of damage onto Fancy there, but he isn't taken down. Now EDK 100%. They leave Yeehor and a soldier to cap as well. He's on the pain train, actually, is the soldier. As running it into last.
They have no last setup. They were on second for so long. Look, everyone is in spawn right now. 5 players in spawn, 1 player up top. Will eventually get taken down to the Uber, but they had to chase this soldier. Everyone actually is able to get out of spawn. That could have been dreadful for VNC if there was any point play at all by CSG, but there was not, and they managed to hold on to that one. I thought it was over, seeing how long... Oh no, it might still be over. This one.
Oh no, Charlie! He's on the last point. There's 1 scout, but Charlie shoots him up into the air, and that denies him around on the board for CSG. Charlie doesn't even have to hit the air shot, just shoots him up into the air. He can't deny the point if he's flying high in the sky. And that's a big round for CSG.
Yeah, everything just seems a little bit not so well thought through for Venomcrest. No one clearing lower there. Charlie with the free jump onto the point. Haunts super fast onto Yak and enemy choke. That's a one-hit kill immediately. Demoman out of the mid-fight. Fancy's walking forwards, trying to lay some harm into them already. But the counter bombs coming in from Tiram and KM, both taking the height right now. Now bombing forwards. That's a Nikki down for CSG. But both teams have kind of traded sides now. It's going to be a very dangerous mid-fight for whoever comes out. Worse for wear after this one. Poi is unable to heal anyone right now. He's just kind of dodging and juking, actually going in for some melee attacks onto the enemy gamers, but not going to work out well. Junu and Nuthouse still being kept alive.
Yak is
and
behind.
now, Yak coming in behind the entire enemy combo that oozes out a bit earlier for CSG, and that's what matters. Poi's going to get taken down instantly by that Uber. We have a pause coming out.
Uber comes out, takes down Poi, which is pretty much the #1 target. Poi very close to having Uber as well. So now it's a medic down. Pause is out. But Yak is actually, I think Yak is the big play to highlight. They had to take that Uber forwards. If they stay back in the enemy flowers, Yak is just going to come up as a forward spawn and do so much damage to the enemy combo. So they just kind of run in. I'm not sure how much of it is planned, but it's a nice happenings coming out of CSG to stay in the round. Getting that mech pick, as you're saying, it's so crucial now. Not only do they get this Uber out, they get the kill onto the medic, they get to take mid, and they get to use this advantage, the heal advantage, to come forwards into second as well.
This rocket pov. Okay, so the two players that are guaranteed to die here are Nuthouse for Venomcrest, and I think Fancy Elf is about to eat a rocket on the other side of mid in red choke here. So that's going to be two players going down straight away.
Yeah, these players are dead on my screen. I think is fair to say, as you know. No else. There we go. This gets eliminated. It's actually Ams that kills him. This gets meat shot there. Kill onto Fancy. Demoman does come through as well. So now, no Demoman for CSG, but there's no medic for Venomcrest. Unfortunately, they can't get in. Now Ams just gonna run through choke. Check that there, in fact, are stickies as KN playing Valley. Demoman on point.
Yep, Yak needs to be careful not to get caught off here. They're just baiting for KN though, who gets an easy bomb through onto EDK, but doesn't hit the rockets required. EDK surfing that one down onto the low ground and does stay alive. Obviously not a huge overcharge advantage as it had to get used out on mid, but still an ad nonetheless, 20% for EDK. But there's going to be a full setup on last this time. The sentry gun is up heavy as well from Junu. There's a sack into lobby from Tiram, which is very weird timing. That's just allowing both soldiers to be down for the defense. There's easy pickings onto the sentry now and lots of free space to take for CSG. They do get that sentry gun down, of course, and now the bomb from KN comes in. The Uber is out. They're going to catch Yak with the Uber as well. He's only on 70%. This could just be another easily converted round for CSG. There's so much time on point already. Haunts bombing above it. Does get on the point once again. There's so little health on all of these remaining players for VNC, and there we go. CSG take a round. A really weird sack timing into lobby, just allowing so much free space. You're already one down. You can't give them the second pick there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate timing for Tiram. Haunts as well, pushing into the last. I think both of the CSG soldiers hit some really nice. Haunts hit like a double direct on two players at the same time. Did so much damage. Really made it so much easier for CSG to cross over, get on the point. Now, this mid-fight starts out with immediate damage onto Poi as Yak pushing across with the rest of his team, but fighting the bell tower here as Tiram has the high ground, and Charlie had to walk back into the enemy choke. Damage onto Junu is decent, but it's a kill onto Ams. Now, what can the rest of his team do as they're setting up once again for a push? There's a bomb in out of KN, does a lot of damage to Fantasy, but doesn't take him down. Junu instead also taken down weak as the soldier up does a lot of work here. He's down really low, but they're taking control of point. There's no high ground here for CSG as EDK eats so much spam. Fancy down to 3 HP, and Tiram just with the spam rockets alone finds the kill onto EDK. Direct out of KN, gets to force back onto Haunts, but Uber's popped out in the meantime. They're all kind of dying on Venomcrest anyway. The bomb, counter bomb coming in now. CSG Charlie is still in behind. Onto Poi, onto Yak, and the collapse is coming through. In the end, we just see a wipe of a long and painful mid-fight.
The crumble at the end of that mid-fight for Venomcrest. Nikki comes up with a naughty two-shot, instantly drops Poi's heal target from the Uber just as Poi uses. Poi spends most of the Uber in a walk of shame, can't even get to Yak on the other side of mid to heal him at the end, so Poi and Yak instantly dying after the Uber is up, and that leads to a wipe. Could have been so different if Poi's hitting that button half a second earlier and actually has a player to Uber onto. Such a shame for Venomcrest in what looked like such a good mid-fight for them. But they do get a kill onto Amps with the sticky trap in top lobby. Ubers are pretty much even, but they need to not keep making these same mistakes as last time and giving up players for a pretty much dry push into last.
There's 20 minutes left on the map timer here, so there's still, in theory, plenty of time for VNC to try and come back into this game. But they have to start by pushing out of their own last. And up on the sniper, going to try to make something happen here. I'm going to be honest, I don't really like the sniper into Sunshine Last that much. I don't think there's too many big angles, potentially. You can try and pick someone out in lobby because he's actually under spammed by the enemy soldiers. And sitting on second now. You can see Tiram overextended, almost goes down to the headshot, down to 9 HP, but now he's called out, and it's so easy for Venomcrest to just play around him, stay out of the angles. Surely he doesn't find anything.
Well, he's not being locked down right now. Tiram's taking his sweet time to get back onto this door, so Ams has a very, very wide angle. Unable to see anything just yet. Junu's the one to be peeking out as well on the sniper. Sentry gun gets taken down in the midst of this, and KN is going to get taken down as well. Traded out for Charlie, at least, by his sniper. So that's one soldier down for either team, and Haunts is going to fail to Tiram as well. Ams will clean up Junu, and now Tiram's pushing forwards into lobby, giving Nikki the third frag that they need to try and really take a wide shot here. Ams still on the sniper. Nikki's just running in. Nikki's two shots on the med. Poe's gonna drop to that.
How is he allowed to do this? He just runs forwards. Now it's a body shot onto Yak as well. The last hold out of the Venomcrest Pythons is completely collapsed. Nikki with murderous robbery there. Just runs in, guns him down, and it looks to just be around here for CSG.
I don't know how Poi thinks they can hold there. That with 3 down, I know that you really, really don't want to use under any circumstance because it would be a nail in the coffin, but it's so much better than the alternative. It's really, really difficult for Yak to get a scout off you, which is pretty much the only thing that was left alive for Venomcrest. It's just way too tall of an order, and Poi dropping there. Of course, here's a fast bomb again from Haunts. Actually landed above Cafe this time and went for the re-jump. There's a lot of damage onto Yak, but does get the bow in time, and they clean up Charlie as well. So it's 2 soldiers down instantly. We're going to see probably CSG leave here, but Nicky's going in for one last play. He's going to get taken down. There's crits for Venomcrest as well.
Yeah, I think they just have to find literally anything. They get a really good mid out here as CSG soldiers decide to feed in one by one. Doesn't really get anything. Now AMS as well in lobby. These CSG players, one by one, keep taking 3v1s, and it's just not working out for them now. They're down so far. The crit is coming out of Yak, and so far it hasn't found anything. First sticky, second sticky, don't get anything. The bomb comes in. It's 1 kill into Charlie. Now the sniper sticky barely hits Yeehor, as now Yak is just moving forward. Something has to happen. EDK pops out the Uber because there's a soldier in on the flank. Tiram gets the force out of him, but it's a demo man down. It's 2 soldiers down here for VNC. They can't hold second here.
Yeah, and critically, they are 1 round away from being unable to make playoffs. They need at least 5 points. That's a map win and a golden cap win. They are really, really struggling here. They need the 5-4 comeback, or this 4th playoff spot is going to go to CSG. They do still have the crit side. They've managed to recycle this one, so they are just going to be building that up on mid, but we need a bigger crits. We need to find that crucial medic kill.
We need that crit to come out. We've seen Yak do it before on occasion. He's a bit of a fan of the crits. The crits is coming out, and the crits does not find anything so far. Unfortunately, it's only Yak that's gonna go down. Poi follows him along. It's just so many players down for VNC. They try to commit, but the stickies, they don't come across. VNC, the scouts losing a 1v1 to the roamer on the flank, and it's a white. They didn't even pop the Uber charge.
This could be it for the playoff dreams of the Pythons. They're already getting locked into this forward spawn. Yak has already left it, has to defend himself against Amps here, but Amps has backup. Haunt's going to be the one to take down that demo kill. They've capped up mid. They still have 100% advantage and 3 picks. on the side of CSG. Second going to get capped up as well now as they're already moving this through lower to last. This could be the final nail in the coffin. They haven't quite used it off yet. The sentry gun is only at level 1. Amp's already playing the point. They haven't even used. They use it off now. They get the first kill onto KN. The sentry gun's going to go down. Poi has to run into spawn. There's only one player left on the point, and there we go. There's actually spawn is in just in time, but Yak has to 1v4 here. There we go. CSG 5-0 on Sunshine. Gonna take the game and the 3 points they needed to secure themselves a spot in playoffs.
They secure themselves a spot in playoffs, and not only do they secure themselves a spot in playoff, they drop out their biggest competition in the Venomcrest Pythons. They destroyed them. I'm gonna be honest. I was looking at this game before the game started, and I saw no Condog to EDK murking. They don't have he's not that much of a leader per se, but he's just such a big personality. When you don't have him playing for your team, you'll definitely notice it. Just to not have the Condog factor and still be able to take it in such a dominant fashion when these two teams, they're supposed to be relatively close to each other, but it just felt honestly, CSG just absolutely outclassing Venomcrest Pythons there.
Yeah, there was just too many mistakes from Venomcrest Pythons on the last holds. They had a couple of unlucky ends to mid-fights as well, I want to say, that could have gone very differently and could have given them more of a foothold into this game to be able to take rounds forward. But yeah, at the end of the day, the only round they were really taking forwards was that last one with the crits, and the crits plays did not pay off.
It really didn't, honestly. All eyes were on Yak there to hit those crits, and unfortunately, failed to step up for his team. Does he get any of those crits? We would still be casting that map, unfortunately for him. Just didn't really come through. We have some logs, I guess we can open up here. They're on your screen right now, but I think Am's 21 for 5, tells the Pocket Scout tale, and a tale of dominance it is, because, oh wow.
The medic death diff is pretty large as well in this one, 2 for 9. EDK doing some good job surviving on both the mids and on the hiding plays on second when KN or Tiram was trying to sack in, surfing that one out, not even using. Very good job from EDK stepping up to fill the shoes of Condok.
Yeah, it's good stuff out of him. Has he played Prem before? I should have researched this before the game, but I'm pretty sure this might be...
The name rings a bell, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been around the Prem level. I know he played Scout. He was really good at Scout, actually, for a little bit. But Prem? Maybe some guy in chat will definitely let me know if I'm just hallucinating and I've seen this guy play a Prem official before, but it may or may not. It's definitely one of the first games of Prem he's ever played, and he's performing really well. Happy to see it.
The storyline has now changed. The storyline is no longer about who gets that 4th playoff slot. It's whether CSG can now clinch the 3rd spot from League of Shadows. They need to get as many points as they can tonight, and then hope that League of Shadows drops some points to Duplo, and there's still actually a chance of the Cuban study group coming into that 3rd slot in playoffs. I believe we've got a new double elim system for this season. It's not the double elim that we usually play, where the 1st plays the 4th and the 3rd plays the 2nd. We're actually going to have the 3rd and 4th seeds start in the lower bracket. So a few less games to play, but still, I believe the 3rd and 4th seed will matter for that all-important veto process. With 9 maps in the pool this season to get rid of, you want to be on top in that veto process.
Yeah, you really do. There's a lot of maps that, I mean, I don't think that these teams have really focused on scrimming all of them. There's absolutely no way, especially with the new map ban system. If you're a new team like CSG, you're definitely just picking, I think, less maps than you would in a regular season and just focusing hard and trying to get them as good as you can. Let's see if Gullywash is one of those maps. As we're going live, map number 1 went the way of CSG as they absolutely stomped the Venomcrest Pythons. This time around, we're on Gullywash. Both teams rolling out to mid here.
Yep, and Fancy already opting for the big dog mid. They are going all the way up enemy side instantly. Yak's going to be the first one to fall. Haunts gets his life traded out, but Tiram already goes down as well. Everyone is on the floor for Venomcrest Pythons right now. Poi has the 1v1 versus Ams, and that is not a position I would like to be in at the end of a mid. EDK has actually somehow found themselves caught out as well, but does get back down to the floor and manages to keep alive. CSG now with the bomb forwards is going to knock Poi back into Big Door. They are somehow managing to let this one slip away from them. They had such a dominant start to this mid-fight, and now it's a 3v3 as the bombs come forwards. EDK once again on the high ground. High just not able to take these shots, but Junu comes in with the respawn, and they're actually going to wipe CSG here.
They're going to wipe him, but there's still one scout running in, trying to do what he can. There we go, Ams. Classic Ams push of just running in, it's even too shiny one, unfortunately. Doesn't happen. That fight was so long, so messy for both sides. Actually, both medics go down Charlie. Really nice rocket onto Juno, his former teammate there in lobby. Unfortunately for him, he managed to find any kills. Instead, they're just sitting around.
Manages to survive, just barely gets the Chucky and then the arrow on last to keep himself up in that corner there. But either way, both of these control points have gone to Venomcrest. Fancy watching some traps in lobby, does manage to defend himself from High, who thought he had the opportunity there. It's going to be Nuthouse going down, and everyone on Venomcrest leaving to second. They want to build this Uber up.
They want to get this up basically ASAP, right? The faster they get this up, it's basically going to be even. But the less of a chance that you have of actually losing your med instead of just having him pop an Uber charge. Hopefully, that should never happen when you are holding Gullywash second. That's surely not right. There are some very funny Roma shenanigans you can do. You can see Juno is actually sitting in his own forward spawn here on Spy, just making sure there's no off classes on the enemy team. He's going to choose the sniper class as CSG right now. They're putting a lot of pressure in River here. Venomcrest Pythons, they want to get in somehow, but they can't now.
Fancy again is being so cheeky in lobby. High's about to fall for the exact same thing twice in a row. And here comes the counter-sack in from Charlie. Might even find a soldier kill here. That would be 2 picks, but no, eventually the 1v1 is lost. Taram going to be able to do one better here and keep his team in it.
His team is in it, but for how long? The sniper on Juno has to find something, but I actually don't think he's peaked yet. He definitely has been spotted out by this Pyro, who's now going to run away. Almost goes down, but a kill on the flank there from Haunts on a Tira makes it so much harder for the sniper to do anything. The bomb just comes out, and it's actually a kill onto Yak as well. Haunts went in for the sniper and just gets himself a bonus demo frag. Now it's only 3 alive here for the Venomcrest because they lost one earlier. Boy has to surf away the air shot, but now CSG, they're getting a little bit ahead of themselves as Bantiel taken down on the flank. Yeehor finally manages to find a kill on him, but it's just Am wanting to go in. Tiram, the spike, he gets the stab, no!
100% Uber in lobby
there's
now.
A double spy. There's a double spy. Yak is just going off the point. He's on spy. No one's in. He decloaks. There's half cap. The sniper's there. He's giving him around.
Charlie was right next to the point on sniper. Charlie just dropped down onto it. Charlie was stood right next to the point for like 6 seconds there. What is going on here? Charlie
he was standing next to it, just on sniper. He wasn't even scope. I think he was just having like a drink of water, or like picking his nose or something. And just off keyboard, and Yak capitalizes the demo spy play, gets the first round of the series here for the Venomcrest Pythons. They may not be able to make playoffs themselves, but they'll do everything they can to take away the 3rd seed from CSG. This time around on mid though, Yak dropping dangerously low again, actually just gets picked off here. The bomb comes in and out of KN, completely denied by the scouts. That's mid over. CSG take the dub.
This is the kind of mid-fight that we thought we were seeing last time, but they managed to throw it away. This time they are capitalizing perfectly. Haunts all the way in on the long wrap as well. Fancy sticking off behind them, and Poise walking backwards into him. That's a free kill for the demo man. Fancy also trying to defend himself from these 2 scouts here. Does massive damage to both of them. Single digits of health left between them, but they do manage to let one survive at the very least. 100% add. I'm not sure it's going to matter too much as they are running this down through main. Amson Nicky taking the brunt of this Uber, running it all the way across point. Yak's already going to be going down. Time on point. The soldiers get denied from it, and there we go. An instant rebuttal. 1-1.
Such a nice way to untilt yourself, right? You kind of just laugh off that first round. Instantly take that mid-fight victory, managed to roll it forward, get a medic pick on the second so late onto Poi means that they could just roll it all the way into last there. CSG now 1-1 here. It's so much time, 25 minutes left to play for. Yak has been having a very tough time of it so far. This time playing a little bit further back as EDK has to deal with 2 soldiers just bombing in onto him immediately. Dead medic now for CSG. It means that the cleanup is still coming across onto Yak and onto Tiram here. 1 kill onto Haunt as Poi is all the way back onto second. Does not want this fight, but it's 2 players behind here, Nuthouse and KN. The collapse surely will come in at some point, but for how long? How long will they wait?
Yeah, it's a 4v4, but everyone's so split. Fancy all alone here, actually trying to just take a fight with a medic scout combo is an interesting decision, but he will get taken down eventually by the spawning Yak. And now they will be able to retake mid here from the Venomcrest Pythons. There's a big Ubercharge advantage on them. Tiram bombing all the way into enemy big door as well, making a lot of space. Now trying to find these frags up in choke. But on the other side of mid, they have
the back cap.
Actually, yeah, we've got Nikki going all the way in behind. ×4 stack on the mid, and Tiram's going to be able to block Nikki easily enough. But here comes the mid block, landing onto Poi. Charlie's not going to be able to get that second rocket in, though, still on the low ground. Might be able to jump out. Does actually get away with his life.
Yeah, Charlie there just manages barely to get away, but he has to run back all the way to spawn. It's going to be a while before he can join his team. Nope. Okay. All the way through big doors. Actually, just VNC running through choke. Charlie does decent spam here. They want to do everything they can to just delay. As now, EDK 90% Ubercharge for himself. He should have this for lost. Yes, there's a back cap going on, but it will not matter. Instead, there's just a soldier down and Yak is dropped from the Uber. Now Poi bounced back by the stickies. The shutters cuts off the Ubercharge, and it just hasn't even been popped by EDK. Unfortunately, the shots on to Fantasy just did not come out. Charlie's still in behind. Even manages to trade himself for Tiram, and the push now from CSG is so huge. 3 dead here. They might even get themselves a 4th in lobby. Yes, it's a kill onto that demo man, but they can take so much space from the top.
It's the Yak classic. He drops himself from the Uber on purpose so he can go spy on last from demo man. Oh, got spammed out by Haunts there. I don't know if Haunts actually saw that the rocket connected. And Yak running now all the way back to the forwards just to switch off. Of course, red team gets second, but they're forced off in the process. CSG do not have that Uber anymore. Tiram in the choke, trying to take this 1v1 versus Amphis, but it's a 2v1 soon enough as Nikki comes in to bail him out.
Yep, Nikki being the hero that he desperately needs to be. As now, Juno once again on the sniper. Now this time around in forwards, doesn't quite make anything work. So far, a lot of -50s. Fortunately, not quite enough. Actually, kill onto Amzik, kill onto Fancy. Decent start here. Nuthouse finds 2, and that means that Yak is going to just push out and try to do some damage, but it's so hard for him to actually get in. Finally, the force out is coming here. Kill onto Haunt. Charlie dropped down so very low. CSG are not healthy at all on this mid fight. Another kill onto Charlie as Venomcrest Pythons, they take control of mid. It's an Ubercharge advantage for EDK, 100% for him now. It's looking like maybe they just want to go here.
Yeah, they are running it through drop down already, just straight into enemy big door. EDK's taken quite a bit of damage, going to be a very brave one to not use off here. Does eventually pop the Uber, and they're trying to catch anything they can, but Poi just is not using. Finally, the force does come out, but it's such a better Uber. They've already killed the medic with this chase, and Nikki in behind does have an opportunity onto Poi here, but going to get taken down. Junior doing a good job of guarding. The soldiers throwing their lives away as well, and there's so much damage onto Poi, but not enough to take them down. Just Fancy on the floor.
Fancy, everyone was pretty much in pipe range there, unfortunately. Scout kill out of Juno on to that demo man means that no longer Fancy able to try and find some miracle pipes, some miracle stickies on to the playoffs. Now, 20 minutes left on the map timer. It's a 1-1 here. Both teams are sitting in the exact same Uber percentages as this time around. Venomcrest, they're looking to push this forward, trying to make it a 1-1. Even Ubers, neither team has it quite yet. They're sitting in a river, just building it up. How do they break this?
Yeah, there is the level 3 and Pyro combo, of course, and I mean, if I know Yak, they break it by him feeding and going spy, but they are going to try and just use in. It's going to be a trade, a very disadvantageous one as well, as EDK has not popped up until this very last second. His Pyro could catch everyone here. Poi actually gets juggled into lower and will get taken down. There's a scout and a soldier down here who will double up to take care of the Pyro, and in fact, the repush here won't be too bad for VNC. They've done a lot of damage to Fancy. They've got
No
two on the
way.
point as well. They've managed to block everyone from it. Yak with the sword out will also clean up EDK, and they've somehow made a round out of nothing there.
Yeah, I have no idea how they managed to get in. That was spooky, scary, strange. I think Happy. He was haunting us a little bit on land, and he was haunting the Swedes. He might be yielding some influence here in this game. We've already seen it twice from CSG. There's just no real point presence here on last. Now back on mid fight. Seems Yak is going to have a little bit of an easier time of it this time around. Tiram drops down so very low, goes for early aggression, and is not able to find much. KN bombing across, but doesn't have his team. Everyone else is drawn back by Charlie. So the mid cap Haunch just standing on the nipple. Nuthouse wants to peek up, but he can't. In the meantime, the Wrap is just coming out in second. Juno taken down. Nuthouse on the flank as well. The Wrap comes forward and Poise taken down. It's just Yak and KN left alive. KN not willing to take any bit of that fight. It's a wipe. It's so much uber advantage for EDK. CSG, they've rolled rounds before. They're looking to do it again.
Yep, and they are straight in. They already have point presence. Point time before the Uber is even out does get used off now as 3 people try and block the point at once for Venomcrest. But they just unflash the Uber for a second. EDK pulls out the melee, and in comes the cap. And that was just, honestly, CSG's round from the very start. VNC tried to do the exact same bombs as last time. It worked so well onto EDK, getting that double elbow bomb in, but AMS expected it this time. They hard countered the bombs and then wrapped all the way around behind the Pythons into Big Door and just wiped them there on second. So nice play for Venomcrest, and in comes a different bomb this time. Tiram just faking it out to his own side. They do get an early pick onto Charlie, and AMS very, very low trying to chase. Tiram is now onto enemy choke. Will not be able to get any kills over there, but all of the space on mid has already been taken by Venomcrest.
All the space has been taken. That means CSG, they just have to run back here. 60% Uber charge for both teams. One team has a demo man, the other one doesn't. They're not willing to push off this, though. Instead, Venomcrest are trying to maybe take this through Big Door, as there's actually so much space, but in the meantime, they have to watch out. They're just going to get back capped on mid. The rat play comes up for both teams, as now we're back on mid fights again, but it's still Venomcrest with the superior positioning here. Am's taken down, so is Fancy L. Charlie follows him, and unfortunately, the rap play doesn't work. EDK finally gets an Uber of his own, but 3 down means they cannot contest second. They have to run back to last.
That fight was decided so quickly by a beast Nuthouse 1v1 against AMS. They're sacking in onto last already, able to juggle Haunts up in the air, does get taken down on the point. Second isn't quite capped yet, they can't overcommit, but they do get the kills on last. EDK hasn't quite used off yet, but has lost 3 players. It does use now, as everyone on Venomcrest actually manages to scatter. Junu's going to get caught to the Uber, but the repush is in a 4v3 situation. They are onto EDK already, but it's the point they need to play instead. They do get onto it, they're managing to juggle people off. EDK, only one with a chance to block, but gets body blocked in secret, and that's the 3-2 round for Venomcrest.
Boy just standing up with the statue out, just kind of hitting it across on EDK, not able to run onto the point. He found 1 kill onto the soldier, but unfortunately there's just 2 more players you have to kill with the body block coming out. He couldn't block the capture. It's a round on the board for Venomcrest, making it look so much more competitive here this time around on Gullywash. After Sunshine was such a quick 15-minute roll. This time around, though, the mid, it's 1 kill onto Nuthouse immediately, but it's traded across onto Haunt. Instead now, Yak goes down alongside Boy. Charlie does so much work for his team, and the health bars on the rest of Venomcrest are just not there. It's 2 soldiers up, but they're both under 50 HP. Both of them pick up a pack.
EDK got the pills there, like a tick before the last pistol shot would have taken them down from Junu. That is so clutch. Junu nearly had a beast 1v2, but EDK just able to get that little health boost in time. Here comes the sack now from Tiram, but he's already been completely denied. Gonna have to jump back. In the meantime, on the backlines, KN fighting against several players will get taken down, so still an advantage here for CSG.
Yeah, all Venomcrest want to do right now is delay again. They want to try to pop this Uber out immediately, but if you almost lose your demo man for it, it might just not be worth it. 1 kill onto Nuthouse might open the door for CSG anyway. They're 2 dead, but the Uber just comes barreling in through main. It's just so many people up. It's actually, they're trying to wrap onto their own second here. The Uber stunned not that much. It's 1 kill to Nuthouse, another kill onto KN, but there's so much height advantage here for VNC. They can sit, they can hold their own second, but the bomb now should come in out of Charlie. So much space created. teammates. Boy, doesn't quite have yet. It's a kill onto Juno now. Yak behind a rock with his medic, but unfortunately he's just taken down. The wrap is completed by both teams. It's like watching, what's that snake called? The weird one that just eats his own tail and it just keeps going in a circle.
The Ouroboros.
Yes, that one.
Damn right. But yeah, this is a complete wipe. Only KN watching main, and they are not coming through there. They've already bombed onto the point from Riverside. KN is doing his best job to block, but it's all over on second realistically here. I thought that wrap wasn't going to work out for a moment. They went so far that they left no one on second, and VNC were able to retake it for free, but the Uberad was just way too big. There was no chance of Poi getting their own Uber up in time. So, unfortunate there for Venomcrest. They nearly dodged the bullet, but it puts them down in the end. 3-3. This has been such a back and forth game so far.
This has been such a close affair. Both teams really just being so aggressive. Yak, once again, they don't want him to play the mid-fight here on CSG. So much damage comes across the immediate aggression here. Nice rock onto Tiram as well, but now the cleanup kills are coming out. Poi has to be careful with the damage, but finally makes it work. It's just EDK surviving, and with no one for him to heal, he's going to have to run it back onto Lars, and it gives Poi such a huge advantage here. Yak as well, she's going to be building with the sword, drawing it backwards and forwards. 80% for Poi now. It's about 30-40% advantage here for the Venomcrest Pythons. They're going to look to try and just push it in onto last.
Yeah, and the spawns only just came up, so the hold isn't entirely perfect for CSG. The sentry's not going to be all the way up. They do have the pyro already. Yak taking this Uber forwards, already in. Does get the sentry gun down. They need to flash Jinu across the point. He is going to be running it onto Fancy now, but Fancy and Haunts defend themselves in water. Am's very low on the heavy, but not low enough. Yak tries to do it himself by just running across point there, but does get taken down. They do know about KN in secret as well. He is going to get cleared out any second now. Nikki with the kill in the end.
Haunts in the back line just finds Poi as well. This is so big for CSG. Now no medic on this blue side. They can take the second point. Have to be a little bit careful with backcabbers, but Nuthouse is not there in time. Instead, now 100% for EDK. Such a big advantage to push for VNC. Want to do everything they can to get this Uber out right now.
Yeah, and they heard those traps going up at Choke as well, so they take it for free through Big Door, and Yak is just not with his team. Easily gets taken down. KN in with the sack, trying to do anything they can. They're just sacking 3 here, and they don't even get the Uber out of EDK. They've lost 3 players. Tiram is going to be the 4th. He takes down Ams at the very least. He does actually take down Charlie as well, but they don't get that all-important Uber charge out of the equation. It's 3 for 3, but still the ad in favor of EDK.
Really nice stuff from Tiram there. Honestly, getting those 2 kills, it delays them for so long. Now it's CSG. They're still just going to run through Choke here. One soldier on height for Venomcrest is going to do a lot of work trying to spam out this Uber. Once again, though, it's just Nuthouse getting taken down. And yes, VNC have the height, but they just don't really have the sacks coming in coordinated. Unfortunately, they're bombing in 2 players and they're losing them in succession instead of at the same time. It makes it so much easier for CSG to take lobby. Now it's actually 100% for Poi, as there's 1 soldier sitting in water for the red team as well. So much damage actually onto Yak. The Uber comes out of Poi here. Counter Uber from EDK.
Oh, they drop everyone.
A little bit later here. Now instead, it's so low health bars for the red side. They're going to have to back off here because they just don't have the health. But that's just clean up for VNC. The wipe out of their own loss. They push into second here.
Yeah, everyone that EDK wanted to beam just got dropped from that Uber right before it, and even the players that they did manage to flash were getting shot just beforehand, and everyone was super low after the Uber. Easy cleanup. Am's on the spy, but he is not in a good position to get onto any of the important classes here. Might be able to spawn camp Yak rolling out, but that's about it. Just surveying the scene right now, and actually could have Poi's back presented to him. He's in mini elbow, walking it up now. Poi is not surrounded by anyone. This is really dangerous here, actually.
Surely not. He's still sort of close, still looking. As I don't think they realize they haven't spotted Ams yet. He has to be careful though, because there's just a lot of players running around. Has to be careful not to accidentally bump anyone. But if you be too careful, you're just going to be a disadvantage. Surely,
coming in,
Venomcrest. They're going to start
he's got
something.
the flag, he's right behind him.
He gets the stab onto Poi, and then to drop out of the Swiss medic. Now 1 kill onto Ams, but it doesn't matter because it's just a spy going down. Yak wants to go for the hero play, doesn't get it. EDK surrounded by teammates as Tira and KN both go down.
They kept second in time. Junu's on last. It's a 4-3 win.
Wait, what? Guys. What?
They just snuck. They were fully committed to getting that point time. They knew they were losing the fight, but if they could just sneak the cap away, Junu was already in secret, and he runs all the way onto last and converts that round. They cap it just a millisecond before the block comes out from CSG, and that is a huge clutch play from Venomcrest. They're now 1 round away from taking this map.
They're 1 round away as well from just denying the 3rd place here for the side of CSG. They're sort of trying to place destiny into their own hands, kind of. Kill onto Junu's a good start here, but you just want a little bit more. The damage out of Fantasy's nice, but the health for the red side's just not really there. Finally, clean up kill onto KN. They're still just forcing Venomcrest back. Now, the push is coming out of Victor here. Tiram does so much damage, but doesn't find any kill. Still, the health bars for the red team are also red, but it's just them bombing forwards. There's no positioning on second here for Venomcrest. They're still finding frags though. Kill onto Poi here would be big for the red side, but instead there's so many players dropping down. Uber's gonna come out of both teams, but there's no height for CSG. The body blocks are coming out to AMS and onto EDK, but they're still running back here somehow. It's EDK has to survive, maybe AMS as well. Fantasy just taking down Venomcrest. They have control of the middle again.
AMS nearly gets onto Poi. Yak looks away for a split second, and AMS was just immediately up on Poi's ass, but does not get the kill converted. Eventually taken down, and now they just need to worry about this sniper in the forwards. Things are even, but they have a 2-pick advantage. This soldier has bombed through, should have called out the sniper in the spawn, but in fact, Charlie only now opens the door. Doesn't quite have the angle anymore, though.
He's peeking it though. He's trying to get through.
Everyone's already into lobby. The best he can do is deny the cap, but that's not going to happen.
Well, oh, no, surely. Okay, thank God. He doesn't get the kill onto Nuthouse. He's back onto last. Now, I mean, EDK does still have 100%. Realistically, right now, if you are CSG, all you want is to maintain your 6 points. If you lose this round, it's just losing 3 points here. It's a kill onto Yakto. That's a really good start. It's going to take so much wind out of the sails of Venomcrest.
Yep, Haunt's already into Big Door, going for the hard wrap all the way around. Tiram's heard him jumping though, so is going to come and take the 1v1 here in choke and will deny that sack attempt. So good heads up play, having the headphones on for Tiram. And KN trying to push forward to do any damage he can, just force everyone back to last. And there we go, we've got everything evened up again. And there's a pass sack before the sentry's up. Oh, they get the force off! EDK just uses that. He instantly switches off to try and maybe make them think he hasn't used, but I'm pretty sure they saw that red flash. I'm pretty sure they know that the force is out.
Yeah, Condog may not be with us, but he is here in spirit as well. Now, huge advantage for Venomcrest. They can see these points. They can probably smell them as well, sitting in river, but they have to know. They're still not committing here. Maybe just deciding. Surely they know, right, Bumfries?
They must know. I mean,
surely they know. Guys, type clueless in chat right now.
Nah,
don't
they
be
know,
too
they
mean
know.
about it. Okay, there we go. The
Boy,
Uber finally comes out now. Two players in river here as the Pyro has to protect the sentry gun, but someone has to protect the point as well. 2 kills actually. Nuthouse and Tiram both get taken down here in water. It's so many frags, and unfortunately Venomcrest, they had such a big advantage, but they completely flubbed the push. Yak is not with his team. He could maybe just get rushed down by these 2 players on top because Poi and KN are nowhere to be found. CSG, they were down so bad, absolutely on the back foot, but instead, they've managed to take it all the way onto mid. Nuthouse might just go down again, like KN also. Poi is left alone on middle here. So much damage, and it's just a kill onto the medic as well. Junu on sniper and forwards has did a miracle now.
Yeah, but there's just a huge ad for EDK. Tiram trying to block mid with the stab here. That's the best they can hope for, and he does actually get it. Now with no mid capture, this is just a little tricky for CSG. They're going to have to send someone back, but it's not going to be too long until AMS finishes the job that Nikki started.
It's looking good for Venomcrest, honestly. Devil pick is nice. We're gonna have to see something more out of Tiram.
They still know Tiram's on spy as well. They know there's only 4 players on last. Absolute maximum here.
Yes, they're just actually going to push in, but the second cap hasn't come out. Tiram tries to block it, and Charlie takes the 1v1. Now, on to last here. The Pyro's coming out. The Uber hasn't really found many kills. It's everyone just stood inside a spawn. Only one dead for the blue side is that spy of Tiram, as the cleanup should now just come out. Nuthouse actually does get taken down by Yehor, but there's just so much space created. No one's able to get into the Pyro off of Junu, and in the end, Venomcrest, they hold strong.
Yep, and still keep this 4-3 on the board. Haunts with the sniper is going to be taking an angle in Big Door, see if he can find anything.
It's rough though. I think Gullywash is one of the better sniper maps. You can still see he's actually just going to run back in to back spawn here. Give up, come back on Soldier. Just not worth it. You'd rather have a Soldier holding the choke points. 80% for EDK as Poi 100%. It looks like they probably know. They're looking to gear up maybe for a push. They're going to have to go soon though if they want to go in.
This ad was much, much bigger than this at a point. I think Venomcrest were happy to call it a non-ad and just let this one settle down on 4-3 here. There's 4 minutes left. They just have to not concede a round. And there is a lot of pressure towards Big Door. Amps and Charlie already in behind, just pressuring from the shutter into lobby right now.
They're actually not going for any play, though. I think if you watch most other teams, you watch Gazzy, maybe they tried to attempt it. Okay, there we go. Ams now sitting on top, but what can he realistically go for here? It's a sack in from Charlie, just on a lot of damage to Juno. Has to be careful. Now, in the meantime, though, the backup just comes out. Nuthouse and KN on the middle. No one's there to greet them. Instead, it's time 3 on the point, and they're going to run all the way back to second here. They could potentially just seal the deal. It's one soldier in of Haunt, and it just gets taken down by Nuthouse. No one is there. The chaos fight is going on. EDK is dead. The scout cap now is the only thing coming out, but KN and Nuthouse, yes, they get taken down in the end, but they keep their team basically in the round.
That would have been a stylish end to it from Nuthouse if he manages to get the 2-shot onto Fancy there, but doesn't quite do it. Looks like mid is going to be going the way of CSG once again, at least for now, but the spawners are trying to contest this as fast as they can. They are bombing in onto the point. Taram's going to get denied hard by 2 scouts, but gets the bow to stay alive. Now it's just a mid-fight for both teams. There's one player going to be late to it. That's Nuthouse just spawning up. They do take down the bomb from Charlie, getting a bit aggressive there. And now they might want to take the 6v5 fight into mid.
I mean, they are looking to go through drop down here as Yak and KN. Now KN just bombing up, gonna try to go for the air shot, doesn't quite hit it. Instead, it's one soldier kill. Now, the rest of his team has come forward, who's in the air for so long, but CSG, they just don't care. If you just wrap all the way back, it's a back cap for both sides, but unfortunately, second captures just faster than at middle hit. Charlie with a block as well, the kill onto Poi, and now Haunt with a nice air shot onto Yak here. It's so many frags for CSG. Just one soldier here on last. He has a scout friend, but it's 2 scouts. Junu in behind onto EDK. He's at 98, and he just gets taken down. Amp has to run back here. 1 kill onto Junu. So much damage dealt, but VNC, they hold on for now. They almost wipe.
Incredibly clutch that those players are able to all get back to last in time. KN just defending the point, and the scout coming in from behind with the kill onto the medic in the last second is crucial. Haunts has got through to River, but I know they're aware of him. KN's going to be the one to try and flush him out, and Yak just sticking his exit, taking the 1v2 now, does trade for it, and there's a sack in from Choke. Charlie able to pop Poi up into the air and finish off the frag. There's everyone trying to throw their life away for EDK now, but if these 2 scouts just go down, which they will, there's 1 minute left on the clock. Second definitely going to get capped up here. Tiram's the only one that's going to be spawning in time. Everyone is going to be flooding into this last. Tiram on the heavy, just trying to get onto point. Amps is already on it, and he's going to get taken down. There we go, 4-4. This round is literally back and forth the whole way. This map, teams are literally taking it in turns to give each other a round.
It is night and day between Gullywash and Sunshine. Sunshine was such a one-sided game. It really felt like Venomcrest had just nothing to deal with it. But now, on this Gullywash games, it seems that both teams, they're just both willing to just throw everything at the wall, see what sticks. And Venomcrest especially are just able to catch out CSG on these flanks here, setting themselves up for so many better situations, turning situations into chaos situations, letting their DM shine. Because it feels like, honestly, at least from the soldier counterparts, we haven't seen the logs yet, but it feels like KN and Tiram are doing so much work here for their team.
Venomcrest with the nice Mickey mid-fight win at the end, but this is guaranteed to be going to Golden Cap. There's just not enough time. And, yeah, Venomcrest looking good on looking good on this map a lot more than they were on Sunshine. That was a pretty easy 5-0 for CSG, but this map is a truly different affair.
And now, if they want to take third place against League of Shadows, it's going to be a little bit harder for them, right? They drop at least 1 point here to the Venomcrest Pythons. They are looking now for the League of Shadows, who have to play against... It's actually the Frenchies, as they're playing right now. They need...
Duplo, I think, is not League of Shadows' last game?
No, League of Shadows played against Duplo week 1. It is versus... Chicago Bulls, the one with Elicor.
Okay, interesting.
If Flick takes more now, then let me do math.
TF2 have just raided us, so I think someone in chat might know the outcome of that game.
Guys, how many points did the League of Shadows get? Just tell us in chat real quick, and then we'll do the math.
Was it 4fence versus Duplo on the other channel?
Oh, it might have been 4fence.
No.
6. 5-0-5-0 for the League of Shadows. Okay, well, bum freeze.
That means this game has no implications at all anymore, but VMC, they're going to be fighting for honor. They want those 2 points rather than just the 1 from this official, and I think they deserve it.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, this has been a really close game. At this point, you're kind of just gunning for them to end the season off with a bang. What more can you ask for than a golden cap on a cool map like Gullywash? We're denied a Gullywash cap in Hamburg. I'm glad to see one here now instead of just a 4-4. As this time around, I mean, both teams. What do you feel like if you're Yak? Because it feels like the only mids that CSG have won have been the mids where they just absolutely tunnel vision Yak, make sure he cannot play the game.
Yeah, it's like CSG kind of have to win the mids immediately, it seems like. Like, they've been getting 2 frags and then chasing it into second and kind of winning the fight on second if they want to win rounds. There was even that very first mid fight where there's just no way in hell CSG should lose it, and they somehow managed to throw it away. So I think Venomcrest's mid fights have been a bit better overall so far, but whether they're able to convert the lasts is another thing, and this game has obviously just been so crazy back and forth. I would like to see Venomcrest at least come out with a pity 2 points here for them not making playoffs, but this is the round to decide it all.
It is the final round here, I think, honestly, of the ETF2L Season 43 regular season. Don't quote me on that, though. That might be wrong. But we are going live here. It's the final map. Venomcrest Pythons and CSG played such a close game on Gullywash so far. We're in off the middle. It is one soldier in Tiram. Submarining here. But the bomb comes in on the boy immediately. Horns drops down from the sky. EDK taken down as well. And now it's just a free-for-all, a bloodbath on the point here. Yak is so dangerously low. Ams in his own choke cleans up Juno with the help of Yeehor. It is just Yak sitting in his own choke as Tiram is so far back. One pipe kill on to Yeehor here. It's a 1v1 on mid. Scout versus Soldier. The Scout has the high ground and Tiram is just backing off. Now Fancy here to help his friend, but it looks like, honestly, the back cap or the spawners out of Venomcrest are coming in so fast into mid here. They're already in through Big Door. It's another mid fight once again.
Yep, all 6 up for both teams, but there's just no position to get into mid. They can actually frag this soldier if Charlie goes down. That was dangerous, but in fact it's Fancy who's found all of the space here. Through choke on second. Can his team get in? They need to bail him out, otherwise he's stuck. And there is the bailout from Charlie, but Charlie's getting taken down. This could backfire for CSG. Haunts going down very low. Gonna crater, and the Mets going down too. It's just Ampus left alive here on second. Now Nikki on mid has to clutch up, but he is going to try and run away. Has to take the fight now. 2 shots, Yak. Oh, Janu cleans up with the sword. And here we go. This round is completely turned around. 80% massive advantage for Poise. Tiram already spawn camping this sniper that he knew would come up. Charlie steps out the spawn. Can't resupply out of that one, buddy. Tiram juggles him in and gets the kill. 100% ad. Going to be coming into last now.
100% advantage. The golden tickets for the coveted 2-point official here for Venomcrest. They're buffing up in lobby. 1 kill for them. Gonna have to deal with the sentry gun, the pyro out of Yeehor and Ams. Charlie actually on the sniper as well, trying to gonna take some pot shots here. Now Yak comes in, but it's actually the Thompson denies the Uber for a very long time. There's a lot of damage dealt. Now Cedric is taken care of as Fancy sits behind the point. Palm comes out here from Charlie, but it doesn't really do that much. Ams on the heavy. It's a lot of damage here, but it's not being followed up. There's only one Demo Man on the point, and it's just slowly being edged out here by Poi. The Stickies will not be dead by Fancy because he just gets taken down. Nuthouse runs onto the point, and Venomcrest Pythons, they end the season with a Golden Cap victory against CSG. We will not see them in the playoff, but they put a mighty fighting showing here on Gullywash.
And it's good to see them still managing to put up a fight at the end. There's always the temptation to know that you're out of playoffs and just throw and troll, but they wanted to keep that one going. They fought valiantly to the very end. They get their well-deserved 2 points from it. And we know that this is a team that sticks around. This is a team that's going to be taking every official they can get and milking it for what it's worth, because they do want to be a long-term project. I'm sure we'll see them in the next season, still battling it out with a same roster, or mostly the same at the very least, and see if they can keep improving going season to season. So Venomcrest with the 2 points, but congratulations, of course, to CSG getting those 4 points and making the 4th playoff berth. So we will be seeing those guys this Saturday and Sunday, where all the ETF2L officials are taking place.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute playoff fiesta here coming up in the weekend. Obviously, nothing scheduled yet because we don't know the matchups. But now, you know, in those quarterfinals, Flick watches with fear as his boots start quaking. He's going to have to face up against Nikki, face up against Ams.
So, yeah, so it's going to be Witness versus TF2 Easy starting in the upper bracket. And these guys, CSG versus League of Shadows, starting off in the lower bracket. And then, of course, follow that through as you will. Teams get eliminated as they go along. One of these teams is going to go out in the next official, out of Venomcrest and League of Shadows. Whereas, obviously, in the upper bracket, you get those 2 shots at the crown. TF2 Easy and Witness, with their hard-earned points, get that little advantage going into playoffs.
Yeah, it's a very good start here now. I think if you are CSG, I think if you are taking it to League of Shadows, I honestly feel like they probably are punching a bit above their weight, not gonna lie. I think League of Shadows, they've just been together for a little bit longer. They seem to have the synergy. They now have the LAN synergy, which I think if anything boosts your team synergy, it is getting drunk together. Is such a huge factor. Just getting to meet everyone,
LAN
be in the same
minus
room.
Deli.
Yeah. Everyone except Deli. Deli, unfortunately, couldn't make it to LAN. He got sick like the day before, so they were playing with Zams for the whole LAN. But Deli, he did play the LAN official, which was on a server, but everyone except for Deli was at LAN.
Deli was patient -1 of LAN death. Like, they somehow got to him first. They, like, pre-fired the Deli kill before we all got sick as well.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for Deli, but hopefully he'll be showing us some good performances against CSG, as CSG, though we will be facing them in the lower bracket. Now, I think, I'm going to be honest, Bum, if you were to give your quick, hot take, big prediction for, let's say the whole, like, top 4 playoffs, actually, who's placing where?
I think all 4 teams are placing in the exact same place as their playoff seed says. I think Witness won't choke online, lol. TF2 Easy, clearly the second best team, and then I think League of Shadows have the edge over CSG.
How can you say something so controversial and yet so brave, Bumfries? As I think, I'm going to be honest, I agree with your analysis 100%. I think CSG, looking forwards into this matchup against League of Shadows, I really do think that they are squarely the underdogs. I think there's a synergy difference. I think there's a team diff as well. I think the scalp diff might, in theory, be there, but I don't think it's quite big enough for it to actually matter. I think if there is something, I think Ron's a duo might run a train on CSG.
All right. Well, I don't have much more to say, so we can start wrapping this up, Juan. I'm going to do the first shout-outs of course, Samus for the camera work and you for being on the mic after LAN with our rusty voices.
Yep. Shout-outs to my voice, which is almost there. I thought it was better than it was, but then I started yelling, and I can feel it not being the best. But we'll see. I've been chugging down tea, hoping for the best. We I think we're just done, actually, every single one of us. The games are over. We've got your 4 teams in the finals. Once again, Witness Gaming first seed, TF2 Easy second seed, League of Shadows third seed, and then Cuban Study Group CSG will be joining us in that third, fourth place matchup, which will happen this weekend. So stay tuned for some playoffs coming up this weekend. That's it for us for now. Samus on camera, Bumfries was here with me, and my name is Wandom. Follow us all everywhere, all the time. As that's it. Goodbye. Good night.
You gotta learn to rap faster, bro.
I know.